So I'm sitting with Raja Farooq Haider Saab, who's not only the ex-Prime Minister of AJK, he also happens to be the leader of the opposition at the moment, and obviously he's spending perhaps most of his time now campaigning and preparing for the next assembly elections, which are possibly due in June, July. And what I wanted to ask him, based on the sort of 5 or 6 years that I've known him and read his statements, and also I've been interviewing him as well, informally. I wanted to ask him about the constitutional ambiguity of AJK, and it's obviously a question which we've already asked some lawyers in Kotley, and we've been asking some lawyers here in Muzaffarabad too. So I wanted to get his perspective.
As far as this present Interim Constitution Act 1974 is concerned, I think this needs major surgery, major changes to empower the Legislative Assembly for AJK. We have put a suggestion to the government of Pakistan to have certain amendments in the constitution of AJK. And I would like to add you that the manifesto PMLN 2013 elections, there is written in this in the election manifesto, they are to enhance the powers of the AJK Legislative Assembly and also Gilgit Legislative Assembly also, and to bring power. I mean, say as a for example, for this financial powers and some other setup with the other provinces of Pakistan, so that the status of AJK should be enhanced. I am of the view, and those suggestions are pending in the Assembly. And People's Party has failed to convince the government of Pakistan, take them into confidence, because
did the Pakistan People's Party AJK, did they also put forward a proposal?
This document was we prepared this. PMLN prepared this basic document. The only suggestion by the People's Party in that was, we said that there should be 8 ministers in AJK. In total. Then they put I would say suggestion that there should be 12. This is the only suggestion by the Pakistan People's Party in that whole of the document. No other party, including Muslim Conference, any other party, has any suggestion on this proposed amendments in the Constitution.
Is that publicly available, that document?
Yes, you can get it tomorrow.
Lovely. I just want to, just a couple more things. For example, during this assembly term, on various occasions, perhaps in the assembly as well as in newspaper statements, you have raised this issue about reforming Act 74. If I go back a little bit, I remember seeing you in Junjal Hill on the 24th of October 2010, and you were addressing Raja Farooq, and you said the basis of the relationship between AJK and Pakistan should begin with the actual structure that was agreed between Mr. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Quaid-e-Azam of Pakistan, and the Maharaja Hari Singh, which is more formally known as the Standstill Agreement. That is something that you said then, but would you say that you've evolved away from that, or how would you describe in your own words?
You asked me a question before that would you like to have that old state of Jammu and Kashmir being reunited?
Yes.
I'm of the view that it should be reunited.
Sure.
And the people should be given a right to, determine their own future. Either they want to remain with India or they want to remain with Pakistan. But there are some voices, new voices, that this state should be made an independent state. As far as the UN resolution is concerned, it qualifies only for India and Pakistan.
Sure.
But it's the will of the people of the state of Jammu and Kashmir to decide their own future.
Are you willing, in your own capacity, to give space to this third narrative?
I would say every person has every right. But if this choice is given to me, I will vote for Pakistan.
Sure. Lovely. Saab, that arguably the 3 most significant public figures in the state of Jammu and Kashmir during the turmoil in 47 were Maharaja Hari Singh himself, Sheikh Abdullah, and Sardar Ibrahim. And all three of these people at some point in time referenced Switzerland as a model that should be adopted by Kashmir and should not allow the neighboring countries to infiltrate, and should not allow Kashmir or the state of Jammu and Kashmir to be affected by the various conflicting narratives of our neighboring countries. And this is the question I put to him. And I do appreciate, understand that it's not so simple to just compare us to Switzerland, because obviously a different history, a different level of mental approach of the Swiss people. But if you look throughout history, the state of Jammu and Kashmir, even pre-Dogra times, a lot of intellectual brilliance has been exported from here. Even if it's Iqbal, if it's Nehru, even Mr. Nawaz Sharif. I mean, obviously he's originally from here. If you look at the Indian Foreign Service, the top diplomats in Pakistan, there was a gentleman, Niaz Naik, who was ethnically Kashmiri. There was a gentleman, D.P. Dar, a Kashmiri Pandit, who was the main, in the 1950s, was the main, the main guy in the Indian Foreign Service. So we've given a lot to our neighboring countries. And I just finished with one example, that Victoria Schofield, a preeminent British scholar on Kashmir, who's been researching for the past 30 years, she even went to the extent of comparing the influence of Greek civilization on Europe to the influence of Kashmiri civilization on the rest of what is Bari Saghir or South Asia, to that extent. Yes, another point, the practicalities are very harsh in terms of the strength of the countries around us. I agree. But then there's competition over water. India has the higher plains. So to me, it just seems to be that there will always be perpetual conflict in some shape or form. But I just wanted your view on that.
I would say, the thing you asked me, might be Kashmir would have been a Switzerland if those tragic events in 1947-48 should not have happened in both sides of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. And the involvement of India and Pakistan in the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
Sure.
But those tragic events and the involvement of both countries has changed this whole idea of Sardar Ibrahim Khan Sahab or Sheikh Abdullah or Maharaja Hari Singh.
Yeah.
Now, as things are in present shape, I doubt that this can be done. Being a Switzerland, might be take 400 years, 200 years, 300 years, or 100 years, that people on both sides of India and Pakistan should realize the difficulties or issues of state of Jammu and Kashmir or their own mutual relationship between each other. I am of a view that this is at present it's simply impossible.
Sure.
For having this the state of Jammu and Kashmir as in Switzerland recognized by both India and Pakistan. There are some people who are trying to have this to create again the borders of state of Jammu and Kashmir, and give both countries, India and Pakistan, some rights on the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
Right.
So that
in relation to water.
Yes,
yeah.
I would say that nobody should grab this state of Jammu, India or Pakistan.
Yeah.
Both should guarantee. It will not be a totally an independent state like Switzerland,
yeah.
But they want to make it as a protectorate. You can say that
protectorate, yeah.
of
Yeah.
Between India and Pakistan.
Yeah.
There are people who are trying for this, but the present tensions between India and Pakistan. There are parties in India and Pakistan. I don't think so. It should be easier for us, to have this type of state of Jammu and Kashmir. But as a citizen of state of Jammu and Kashmir, I would like that this state should get reunited.
Right.
And in what form is up to the people to decide.
Lovely. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Okay.